Hello, two matches coming up for you tonight, both from the Champions Conference. First up, Wooky's eSports versus Yeppers, and that is followed closely by Crystal Gaming versus eWolves. These are sure to be two entertaining fixtures, the first of which is between the side that tops the Champions Conference 2 with an unbeaten record, plus 16 on the game win difference, and they've dropped just two individual games all season. Big contrast to a Wooky eSports side that has lost 10 individual games this season, a notably high total compared to the teams surrounding them in the table. But they do sit fourth right now on a very precarious 4-3 record. Well, Wooky eSports are coming off a loss in their last fixture. It was against the Papagas, and it was a 3-0 sweep defeat. They scored 8 on 22 in the series, but ultimately lost the first game by 3 goals, and the tone for the series had been set after that. The Papagas are a decent team, 4-1 on the pitch, but a couple of forfeits have dragged them down into the lower areas of the table. They sit 6th at the moment, but clearly a decent side when they can get out on the pitch. The Pagas, they won their last series 3-0. That was against Playing Aliens Nebula. So these are two sides in recent contrasting form. For Wooky eSports, their MVP in each of their last 3 matches, 2 of them were wins, was MCO. So they're the player to watch out for on the blue side as we get underway here in Game 1 of this Champions Division 2 match.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting match like I already mentioned, but this makes it even more interesting. Nosti with, only 6 seconds in, Wooky eSports in the lead already. Well, Wooky eSports against, the top favorites of this series already in the lead.
Well, that's how you want to start the series. I mean, the Yeppers against the Playing Aliens Nebula, they kept consecutive clean sheets to open up the series. That has gone to pot already because Wooky eSports have opened the scoring. They might have a second here in quick succession. Emco puts the shot on. Oberdove was in there for the follow-up. Now Faded is going to clear away over the halfway line in the direction of Nosti. And play can perhaps settle down a little bit, but you can see that Wooky eSports have got some confidence early on.
Yeah, most definitely. They're trying to make the best out of this. Already an early goal in this game number 1, but they still have a complete best of 5 series to play against a team. Well, as already mentioned, they only lost 2 single games. Yeppers, a really solid team. Dave actually makes it too. And Yeppers, I'm not sure if this actually happened before in this season so far, but in game number 1, they're already losing with 2 goals after only 41 seconds played.
Well, Yeppers, their record so far this season has been so good that even if they lose this series, they're still going to be secure in top spot, at least for the time being, because every other team has taken a minimum of 2 defeats, but they certainly don't want to continue this poor start to the series that they've had, conceding the pair of goals in the first minute. Wooky eSports are well on top right now, coming so close to adding a third. Yeppers have just got to get out of their own half and start to play their own game again, or they could find themselves out of this game 1 before they've gotten a chance to play. Now they're finally getting themselves forwards. Pass attempt into the middle from Bitson is offline, but Faded is going to follow up. Drops it down towards the net, but MCO will get across to the wing and make the clear.
MCO with the fake there as well. I really think, Wooky eSports actually playing really consistent so far. Playing really confident as well, and that's something that you don't see too often. If you play out against the top favorite of the season, of the league, then it might be very difficult to get that confidence. But really, Wooky eSports, they've shown that they're playing really confident so far. in this series, in this game number 1. But it's only 1.5 minutes in. We know how good Yepers can be in offense, but we also know how good Wooky eSports can be in offense. There was nearly 3. They keep trying for the third goal. They keep just trying to, get everything on offense, and actually that works really well for them. I haven't really seen any big chance for the Yepers side, as we now again see Wooky eSports trying to find yet another offense, but this time it's not resulting into a goal. But definitely a really good start for Wooky eSports in this game 1, and much more to come from them probably.
And Nosti puts the latest shot on target for Wooky eSports. They've had 8 to Yepers' 1 so far in this game as we approach the halfway point. Astonishing ratio between the two teams right now. Here's a chance from the wing by Bitson. MCO is going to get across the net to make that save and keep Yepers off the scoreboard for the time being. And the longer they can do that, the more their confidence is going to grow. Yepers, that'll be preying on their mind that they've failed to score so far. They're usually such a consistent team offensively, and it's hoping them get to the top of the table. Now Starscream headed towards the net, but blocked aside by MCO. Bitson turns the shot goalwards, and that one will be saved by Nosti. The 2-0 lead remains intact as we approach the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, now we see actually the team of Faded, of course, one of our co-mods, one of our co-casters, Yepers, actually trying to get some offense in, but so far it's not really working out. But now maybe there's a chance. Well, there definitely was a chance. Now Faded with this shot, it's not on target though, as Wooky eSports can clear the ball out, but we see some offensive pressure now for the first time in this game from the Yepers side. Flip reset by Bitson, but can't really get it past his opponent as Faded puts it to the side. Maybe a pinch here, Starscream into the middle to find one of his teammates, but it is Obey who's following the ball up from the opponent's side. Now a shot in. Oh, that was nearly very dangerous. It's just being cleared out. But really, it doesn't look too confident for the Yepers side. They're kind of struggling in defense as well. They're already 2 goals down. Can't really seem to find any offense anymore. With 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, the time is really ticking away for them in this game number 1.
Well, if they can get a goal soonish, they're not out of this game 1 yet, and they're putting the pressure on. Faded tries to cut that ball across the front of the net, but nobody's home to receive it on the far side. Bitson looks to put this ball back into the mixer, but without boost couldn't get any further. Now Starscream onto it on the left wing, but misses it. Oberdave will get up gratefully for the clear by Wooky eSports. Taken back by Bitson. It's a 2-on-1. Takes the shot, hits the post, but gets fortunate. It goes in, and it's 2-1 with 1 minute to go. Yepers are right back in this game. Have Wooky eSports held them off long enough to get this win?
Yeah, that is a good question. Faded going for a really good demo. Well, didn't get a demo, but still made the opponent jump, and Yepers actually get one back. A really good team play from Bitson and Faded there in offense, and that is, the Yepers we want to see in this series. Maybe a second straight after the kickoff. No, it will be cleared away by the Wooky eSports defense. A ball coming out here off the backboard. Well, now off the backboard again, but this time from a Wooky eSports defender. This was a shot though, another shot, and this time it will go in. Starscream equalizing game number 1, and Yepers completely back, and it's an all open game number 1 again.
Well, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and suggest that was an intentional double tap, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's 2-2. Yepers have levelled the scores with 43 seconds to go, and now it well and truly could go either way from this point. Wooky eSports have just been penned back after a great first minute or so of the game. Nosti's going to fling this ball towards the net. Faded is up there for the clear. Loose on the halfway line for MCO to shoot. And Nosti got behind it. I think maybe they should have let that one go goalwards, but with 30 seconds to go, the pressure is with Wooky eSports. MCO pushes this ball back into the danger area, gets a follow-up touch on it. Starscream is all the way up to make the clear, however, and Yepers will get it away.
Yeah, really, Wooky eSports are trying to find the third goal. If they score now, of course, this game done and dusted, which could happen here, but it will be saved out. Still the ball in front of the goal. Another shot, it will be blocked. It will be Nosti with possession. Gives it away to the Yepers defense, though, as we look like we go to a game on OT. A game that seemed like it was going to Wooky, but Yepers came back 2-2 in this overtime. As we approach, the very last goal, which of course will happen in overtime. It's golden goal here.
I think it was the deserved result after regulation. It was really a game of 2 halves, the first belonging to Wooky eSports, and then Yepers did come back into it. This next goal is a crucial one in terms of how the series in its entirety is going to go. Wooky eSports have played well against the top-seeded team in this game, but if they don't get the win, Yepers are going to come at them big time in the second game of the series with the momentum they get from the series lead. Oberdove trying to put this shot on target. MCO is up there for the rebound, looked for the extra touch. It's loose in front. Nosti will turn on it, but didn't have the boost to work with. This one will be cut out by Yepers, all the way clear down the left side. Now Starscream putting some pressure on, but MCO is going to get this one away.
Yeah, and we really see, the advantage here for Wooky Esports, having the plenty of chances, but in the end, in overtime, it's just being decided by one single goal. A demo play coming out here, leaving a 2v1 situation. As we see, Nasty has a 2v1 situation here, can't get it past the defender though. Bitson, really good defense from him as the ball is getting cleared out. It's only just up in front of the own goal. Now finally it gets cleared out. But really, the pressure is coming on from the Wooky Esports defense, from the offense as well. And really, in this first minute of OT, I can really see Wooky being the stronger side of these two teams.
But still we go on in overtime, passing 1 minute and 15 of the extra frame now. Nosty has taken one Yepers defender out of the play. Starscream is in there for the follow-up, and now it's Oberdave with the shot off the backboard. Mko was up there looking for the rebound, and now this is going to come back to Nosty, who looks for the long through ball into the far corner, but Mko wasn't up there to make contact. Now more loose possession in the back corner. Yepers have got to deal with this, and it's going to come free for Faded on the far side. He might look for Bitson. And it's 3-2. Huge victory there for the Yepers, coming from 2-0 down. They have taken game one. And for Wooky Esports, they're going to be made to regret their performance in the back end of the opening game of the series. They had all of the offensive pressure at the beginning, but Yepers pegged them back. Bitson picking up the MVP in game one of the series, and that is the sign of a champion team. 801 points for Bitson, 603 for Starscream. Huge performance from both players, but I was a little bit surprised to see the shot difference between these two teams in the opening game. Wooky Esports generating 15 shots on target, and the Yepers don't really concede that many in any of their matches. So this is an interestingly poised series from here on out. Beyond game one, can Wooky Esports fight back to level the series? I'm not too sure. They really needed that game one, and they're going to have to score first in the second game of the series as well to have any significant opportunity to win it. And the Yepers will have all of that momentum from taking the opener in overtime.
Yeah, we have to see, of course. My apologies to the stream who just heard my voice only from your left ear, so it should be fixed now. But well, we are going into game number 2 with Yepers taking game number 1. No, in the end, they did alright, Yepers. But yeah, I have to see more from them. We did see some really good demo plays from them. But yeah, those demo plays, in the end, they worked. But they were really under the pressure from Wooky Esports, pretty much in that wall overtime as well. Just one single good play made it so, they won that game, they won that overtime. But really, the pressure was all on the Yepers side. And Wooky Esports had the advantage in the game, honestly. First a 2-goal advantage, then 2 goals. Well, of course, 2 goals Yepers scored. And after those 2 goals, they didn't really seem too confident. In the end, in overtime, they still clutched it after a lot of pressure coming out from the Wooky Esports offenders. But in the end, we have to see how Wooky is going to recover from this. A good game run from them, honestly. But yeah, unfortunately, they couldn't win the game against the Yepers side.
And a scoreless first 25 seconds of the next game of the series up in Forbidden Temple, as Yepers are attempting to build a 2-0 series lead now. And for them, I think not just winning this series is the target, but they're going to want to sweep it, because when you're attempting to establish yourself as one of the top contenders in the division, you don't just have to worry about the other 9 teams in your conference. Even if you do go 9-0, as they do strike first here, it's Starscream on the assist from Bitson. And just to finish my point, even if you do go 9-0, you've still got the top teams in the other 2 conferences to worry about. So you need to try and keep your peak performances rolling throughout league play.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, probably this Yepers side, definitely when they win here, they will be going into, the top seed of Champions Conference 2, going into the playoffs. Then, of course, they have a really good seeding. They have to play, of course, against one of the second seeds of the other conferences, which is going to be interesting to see how that's going to be, because this Yepers side is really, really solid. But definitely, like you mentioned, you need to keep your momentum, like Faded is doing here. Second goal for Yepers. Now we can see what the Yepers side is actually capable of. Pressuring the opponent in offense. That's really what we are capable, what we're used to seeing from the Yepers side. But like I mentioned, we need to see the momentum from the Yepers side. They still need to play 2 more games after this series. So they just gotta keep consistent. First they gotta win here though against Wooky Esports, and just like we saw in game number 1, it isn't that easy. But this game number 2, it looks much easier, as Bitson will get the 3rd goal for Yepers.
3 minutes 45 to go in game 2. It is looking like a confident performance from the Yepers so far. 1 minute and 15 in. And it's really difficult to see any way back into this one from Wooky eSports. They've not really gotten into it at all. They've registered just one shot on target, and they haven't been able to stop any of the chances that are coming at them from the other end. But Starscream will clear into the back corner, and maybe we'll see an opportunity for some Wooky eSports possession in the back left corner. But Bitson wins it back again. Nosty will clear all the way over the halfway line. Oberdave is in there to put some pressure on. Off the backboard it goes, and Faded clears into the far corner, and there's a race to it. Starscream should win this possession battle. Over to Bitson, but that shot is going to float wide of the left post.
Yeah, we really see Wooky eSports, 3 goals down, trying to come back, but it's still, kind of pressured the defense here by Jeppers. And, well, yeah, we now see again Jeppers trying to create an offense. Faded now with the shot. Should be an easy save here. It is an easy save indeed, but, it's a really, really old game, really different game than game number 1, where we saw Wooky eSports having the most offense, the most advantages as well, the most chances, but this time it will be Wooky eSports 3 goals. They still got to score to send this game to a potential OT. But, by the way it is going now, definitely when this kind of stuff happens, a miss in defense, Starscream will make it 4. And this game number 2, after only 2 minutes and 20 seconds, looks like it's already decided.
Yeah, I can't. There's no way back for Wooky eSports, I think, at this point. To come from 4-0 down against the team that is top of the Champions Conference and rolling over you right now would be such an impossible feat, but you have to try and take the positives where you can. Your game 1 was decent. If you can at least get 1 or 2 goals back and keep the scoreline tighter in this game 2 of the series, maybe you give yourself some hope heading into the 3rd one. It's not necessarily just about winning the series for Wooky eSports, but they need to try and keep their game win difference up as well. Right now it's only at +5, but with these couple of games it's sitting at -3 as it stands. So they've got to try and at least pull 1 back and make that statistic look a little better. But it is all Jeppers at the moment, and they very nearly tag on a 5th.
Yeah, really, the flair from the Jeppers offense is just coming off. We've seen a really, really good goal in OT in game 1, and here, they just make it 5. Now, who cares? Bitson, 5 on the board. Probably they're just going for 10 at this point. 2 minutes to go still. And Wooky eSports, well, this game is done for them already. Jeppers probably going to take this game number 2 from them. And well, Wooky, that chance was in game number 1. But in this game number 2, they don't seem to have any single chance against the top side of Champions Conference 2.
Yeah, it's bonkers how a series can completely sway on momentum changes like that overtime in game 1, and then the teams will come out in the next one and you'll just see entirely different gameplay from the 2 sides. Wooky eSports are applying some pressure here. Oberdave with the shot, and that is going to be 5-1. With 1 minute 48 to go, there is something in this game for Wooky eSports, but surely it's too little too late.
I mean, you just really have to put more mistakes in the defense from Jeppers if you're a Wooky player now, because, well, 4 goals to score against Jeppers is a really, really hard task. Definitely 1 minute and 48 seconds as well. The time really is ticking now. If Jeppers are making it 6, creating a 5-goal advantage again, then definitely the game is done and dusted here. Double tap attempt though. I think it was missed on the backboard as well, but just about missed as well by the Wooky eSports offender. Really, the time is ticking, 1.5 minutes to go. Jeppers is still comfortable with a 4-goal lead. Wooky eSports still trying to find some goals in, still trying to find their 2nd goal to maybe create some hope. But we see again the Jeppers side just going for demos, maybe going for a double tap here with Bitson, missing it out though. As really the time is ticking, and Wooky eSports are seeing this game, just fading away even more.
Bitson is going to go out for this ball and win it over the top of Nosty. Now puts a dangerous pass into the middle. Faded is up there for this one. It hits the crossbar. Starscream is there onto the rebound. Gets the extra touch on it, but Nosty will clear it away. Only as far as Faded! And it's 6-1. Jeppers tag on another one and restore their 5-goal advantage. Wooky eSports defensively just not quite up to par.
Yeah, really, the dumps from Jeppers. I mean, I've seen them in game 1 as well, which, we have seen a goal from that actually existing. But in this game, they're actually going for that quite some more. They're just waiting for the Wooky eSports defenders to make a mistake, and then there's just one less player, and then Jeppers are just trying to get a bump on that last player, which works really well. That's how that 6th goal actually happened. Well, the question now is 40 seconds to create a Brazil here in game number 2. Of course, game number 1 was just an overtime in which Jeppers had to bounce back from from Wooky eSports being 2 goals up. Unless this goal goes in, it's not a Brazil anymore as Nosty makes it 2 for Wooky eSports, but no way Wooky eSports can come back in this game number 2 anymore.
Well, at least they are getting some offense in this game. You don't want to be shut out by a 6-0, 5-0-ish scoreline. That's a really horrific way to lose, but They've had brief spells of offensive possession in the last couple of minutes of this game, and if they can just get back to the way it went in game one, maybe they'll have a little bit more joy in the third game of the series, potentially the final one. Bitson hits the post here as Yepers are looking for a 7th goal. They're not willing to let up, even though this game is very much in their hands at this point, and that is the sign of a team that is very successful.
Yeah, definitely. They are a really successful team. Of course, looking at the standings, as we now see, Wooky eSports trying to go for their 3rd. But, you know, it definitely does not look, you know, likely that Wooky eSports is even going to win the series. They need to get a reverse sweep. But, well, that's going to be really hard when you just lost game number 2 with a 6-2 scoreline.
And the last second will tick off the clock, and Yepers are looking for that 7th goal. The ball is going to stay up, at least for the time being, but the victor is secured. Nosti will put this one into the corner. Oberdave is up for it. It banks off the corner once more. Opportunity in the middle, perhaps, if a Wooky eSports player can get on the end of it. Emco chips it up. Faded keeps the ball in the air. This is certainly a long stretch of play to keep it up, and it ends up in a crossbar. But the scoreline does not change. It finishes 6-2 to Yepers. A dominant performance from them. They won it realistically about a minute into this game. They're the team with 15 shots on target this time, but they made much better use of them than Wooky eSports did in the opening game of the series. All 3 players getting on the board twice, and with a point score between 549 and 662 range, everybody getting involved. Starscream though picked up 3 assists, certainly heavily involved in the offensive chemistry there. And you can tell that this is a roster that has been playing together plenty as of late, and well, Faded with a newer team after winning Champions Conference with Retirement Home last season. It's amazing how he's managed to get himself onto a roster that looks like they have a similar chance of doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, we know Faded. He is a really, really good player. And, well, definitely for Champions Conference standards, you know, he definitely could get this team once again into the Vortex division. You know, they are on a really good track to do so. But, no, they're just going to complete it, really. They have playoffs ahead of them. And, you know, they're trying to get this 3-0 sweep as well. But yeah, we got to see. Faded, we know how good of a player he is. Last season we saw that with Retirement Home, a team that is now actually in the Vortex division under another name, of course. But in this game number 3, it is all up to Wooky eSports. Can they bounce back? Can they make a reverse sweep happen? Or will it be Yepers getting the clean sweep here?
Well, Yepers are looking for that first goal, but this one is going to float across to the opposite side of the net. Faded up in the air towards the corner, now looks for Starscream with the shot. This one comes off the backboard, and Emco gets across to make a good save. Follows it all the way up to the halfway line for an attempted block. Now Nosti from the ceiling, tried to dunk it down towards the middle and create something for Wooky eSports, but not connected on the pass. They cannot afford to miss these opportunities against the Yepers team that is so clinical going the other way. Faded looking ambitiously for Bitson on the far side. Nosti is going to get a good clearing. This one's actually headed towards the net. Starscream has a clear to make off the backboard, and it's back in from Oberdave. Starscream gets in with another save though. Faded from the air, off the crossbar and into the net. 1-0 to Yepers.
My word, Faded all the way from his own help, going for the air dribble, goes all over all the players of Wooky eSports. You know, I think he just took a plain Faded. He just went from all the way off his own side, off his own goal actually, all the way to the other side with the air dribble. But that is just the, you know, the textbook air dribble we want to see here.
And Faded wins 100-50 there as he absorbed the challenge from 2 Wooky eSports players. But Oberdave cuts inside, and Faded has defensive work to do this time. He looks for Starscream, and Nosti gets back to deflect that one away and keep it 1-0. But Yepers are surely going to get a second here if they continue to press like this. Emco clears as far as the halfway line. Starscream is back there to receive it, but turns it over on the way to Oberdave, and Faded was in there to get it back again. Every time Yepers look like they're in trouble defensively, their clearance ends up turning into an ambitious through ball, and they're away on the counter down the other end. It is just terrific, an attacking clinic.
Yeah, and I mean, I mentioned already Wooky eSports in game number 1, how, you know, how confident they played while things have turned around. As you now see Yepers, you know, playing really confident. I think I saw Bitson with a really, you know, solid fake in his own defense. It could have, you know, ended horribly wrong for him, but just consistency, the confidence he has, you know, in his own ability is just, you know, something that usually happens when you have an advantage like this, a 2-game advantage, a 1-goal advantage in this game number 3 as well. But yeah, we can't really see any confidence from the Wooky eSports team right now. They're trying to get some offenses going now, just like they had in game number 1. But, you know, it really looks like Yepers, they stepped up since the game number 1. they stepped up and they really showed that they're the dominant team. They are the dominant team of Champions Conference too. Wooky eSports, they still have chance. It's only a 1-goal game for now, but the Yeppers have all the offense as of now.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. By this stage of Game 2, it was 4-0 to the Yeppers, so it was pretty much out of sight already. But Wooky eSports have defended slightly better and given themselves a chance in this potential final game of the series. They're only down by 1. One shot could level the scores up, and Bitson with the pass back there gives Starscream a little bit of a tricky clearance to make. Oberdave now up towards the halfway line. Faded will look for a teammate in field. Nosty gets a tap on this, and now it's Bitson's turn in possession. Has Emco to get past and looks off the backboard, but Emco is consistently defensively strong, but unfortunately one player making these clearances doesn't equal the team consistently defending well.
Well, yeah, of course you need to get something in offense as well. You know, in defense, if you're doing good, that would be pretty good. But you know, in offense, you need to deliver something as well. Starscream gets it to his own player actually. Now Faded missing the ball, but also Nosty missing the ball after that. Now the ball into the corner. You see Oberdave trying to get a pass too, but every time there's a Yeppers player in the way, you know, when Wooky eSports are trying to get an offense, just like here, Faded will just get it to the middle, but it might be very dangerous actually. Oberdave was nearly intercepting that pass from Faded, and Nosty will just keep it up, and with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, Yeppers still having the 1-goal lead, not a high scoring game. But if, well, Yeppers will keep it like this, of course, they will be really happy, because they will, of course, take this series with a 3-0.
Starscream now waits for possession to come to them. Now Faded's turn, but Nosty wins that one back, and we have 1 minute and 15 to go in Game 3 now. Wooky eSports pressing for that equaliser in the offensive third, but that's a dominant clearance there from Yeppers. Bitson now follows it up, looking off the backboard. Nosty, interesting method of clearance there, I believe flipped up from the ground. Emco follows it up, and now Oberdave into the offensive third. Better now than ever for Wooky eSports. Faded is going to get this one all the way clear into the corner. Emco from the sidewall cuts in field, but nobody's home on the far side. Oberdave is going to get contact on this, but it's blocked down at the source by Yeppers, and they are going to get it clear with 45 seconds to go.
The time begins to tick, but we see the first offenses from Wooky eSports happening right now. They're not getting challenged straight away when they're trying to get off their hull. They're actually getting some pressure on the Yepper side now. Ball into the middle, infield pass. Emco just can't make it to the ball as the ball now goes towards their goal. Oberdave with the clear out to the left, as we see Emco has a little bit of possession, a little bit of time, tries to flick it past one, gets actually past one, but Starscream in the goal to defend that shot. Emco still in the corner, tries to make something out of this, but the ball is getting cleared out. Maybe one less offense for Wooky eSports is all they need, but they need to get it fast as the time is ticking down. 1v1 situation, Starscream is clearing the ball out, and well, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and Yeppers are the winners of this game. It's a 3-0 sweep, and Wooky eSports out of this series.
A 1-0 final score there in favour of Yeppers. You don't really see that too often. The shots were 5 apiece in that game between the two sides. There was very little offence going on. Most of the game was fought in midfield battles, and Yeppers were just the better side on that front as well, showing that they can find different ways to win games, blocking up in midfield and all three players doing their jobs effectively. And of course, the lone goal of the game, that excellent air drag and bar down shot from Faded, made the difference. That one moment of quality, and Yeppers will move on to a 7-0 record with a game win difference of +19. I am 99% sure that is top spot clinched for them now, even if they were to lose their last 2 matches, because that game win difference is a hefty one. And in the Champions Conference playoffs, they are undoubtedly going to be one of the teams to watch.
I mean, talk about a perfect season. Yeppers is having the time of their lives now, with 7 series won now, with 21 games won and only 2 lost. Well, that is a really good record for them. The Yeppers, you know, keeping their, you know, the first spot in this division. Which, I mean, probably if they even would lose this series, if they would lost the series with a 3-0 even, it would still have that first place. So, you know, Yeppers are doing outstandingly well. But we have to see, can they do it in the next series as well? But especially in playoffs, it's going to be really interesting to see if they can keep that up as well. But I think that's everything for this series. We still have a series left for you guys, which will be E-Wolves against Crystal Gaming, also in the Champions Division, but I believe it will be in the Champion Conference 1. So don't go anywhere. We will be with you very shortly.